Welcome, everyone. I am Pragya Sinha Chaudhary, your host for today. I am VP of Products at DASA, and today we are all here to learn about our newest product suite on DevAIOps. But before we begin, some housekeeping rules. For everyone who has registered for this webinar, the recordings will be made available. Please use the comment section to ask questions during this session. We will answer all your questions at the end of the webinar. If you have any additional questions, you can send it to the email ID shown on the screen. And you can also visit our website for more information. Now, moving on, I would like to welcome the speakers for today. I have with me Dominic Majewski, Daniel Kusba, and Daniel Jeros from Future Processing, and Rick Fahrenhorst. Dominic is the channel manager partner at Future Processing. He has over 2 decades of experience doing business development, sales, operation management, consulting, and business processes optimization. He has worked in various industries such as telco, consulting, pharma, logistics, etc. Daniel Kusba is the enterprise cloud consultant with Future Processing. He has almost 2 decades of experience in the IT industry and has worn various hats as architect, an IT leader, and is also a DevOps trainer. Daniel Giros is the head of discovery services at Future Processing. In this role, he manages the design and development of products. He has 15 years of experience and comes with a strong background of UX and business analysis. And of course, Rick is the CEO of DASA. His passion to enable digital organizations become high performing organizations shows in everything he does and in his guidance in shaping the DASA portfolio. Moving on behalf of everyone at DASA, I'm pleased to announce that we are developing the DevAIOps product suite in partnership with Future Processing. I would like to invite Dominic to talk to us about future processing.
Thank you, Pragya, for your very kind words at the beginning of this webinar. As said, Dominik Majewski, responsible for partner channel at Future Processing. I've been involved in Future Processing and DASA partnership building and shaping since the very beginning. And I must say, I'm super proud to see tangible results of this collaboration. I'm sure that DASA's vast exposure to recent frameworks, methodologies, and trends in both DevOps and agile, combined with FP's expertise in technology delivery and consulting, they are ground for unique ideas and products. We will work together. When it comes to future processing, we have 24 years of market presence, several offices in continental Europe, UK, United States, team size of 800 people plus, but foremost, big group of satisfied clients we strive to build long-lasting and fruitful partnerships with. So our approach is about transforming clients' ideas into reality and accompanying them in their digital journey. So we usually start with a strategic analysis to understand goals and challenges of our clients. Then we focus on planning and design phases to get some more tailored solutions delivered. The development phase itself uses agile methodologies to ensure high quality results. Yeah, to shortly give you an overview on our competency centers, there is a technology consulting, practice, data engineering, security pen testing and advisory, business analysis, UX, UI services, AI adoption, and DevOps practice. Out of those, especially consulting, AI, and DevOps have been gaining a lot of momentum recently. I'm very much looking forward to this session and next ones, and I really keep my fingers crossed for a fruitful cooperation between DASA and FP. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you so much, Dominic. I would now like to invite Rick to talk to us a little bit about DASA and why we decided to include DevAIOps in our portfolio.
Yes, thanks, Pragya. And thanks, Dominique. We're equally excited, of course, about this partnership because from our inception, we always have worked with great partners and subject matter experts, thought leaders in the field, and I think this is no exception in that sense. It's great to work together. For those of you who don't know DASA, we're an industry body, globally operating, and we position ourselves to be a go-to partner for enterprises, small or large, regardless of the industry they're in, who want to transform themselves towards what we call a high-performance digital organization. And this involves lots of people, process, technology, culture, leadership elements. And while this is a very rewarding journey, it's not an easy feat. It involves a lot of grit, persistence, a lot of different capabilities that you need throughout this journey. And for that reason, we are growing and building a large body of knowledge with lots of talent and guidance products. But we also build a global ecosystem, a community with partners, with enterprise members, with ambassadors, with SMEs and leaders who can learn from each other, who can share, and who can connect. And this is all together a great facilitation or maybe a catalyst for organizations in their journey towards flow, business agility, resilience, or value maximization for their customers and employees. And on the next slide, we see that this is actually working quite well. Over the past years, we have been growing quickly. These are just a snapshot of a few labels, organizations who work with us. It's good to emphasize that we have, let's say, three key type of organizations in our ecosystem. We have what we call enterprise members, like big banks, airlines, industrial companies, telco companies, etc. We also have training and transformation partners. And with the training and transformation partners, we also work together to make more impact and have a tangible, lasting value at those enterprises. But it's also great to see that these enterprises invest more often than not in DASA's body of knowledge. Some of them become a member as well to tap into our body of knowledge because they want to build their own internal capabilities. And they understand that becoming a IT-driven company, reaching high performance, means that they can't fully rely on partners and external consulting or training companies. They also want to build internally the right culture, the right skills, and the right knowledge. And we try to facilitate in this whole spectrum. And it's interesting to see that some of our products and our themes getting more and more traction recently. It's also almost daily. This morning, I had a conversation with another big company. Almost daily, I get asked, "Can you please help us?" Not because we are at the start of our transformation, but because we have now invested for quite some years in, for example, agile or DevOps or a specific framework. I will not mention the name, but we get stuck and we are a bit unhappy with the implementation and the sometimes rigid process-oriented nature of those frameworks and methods. And then we can be a perfect partner for them to not start from scratch again, but to build a next level of maturity, to build additional capabilities, to connect the dots, if you will. That is how you can best see DASA. And on the next slide, we outline what are key themes where we focus on. We always say to our enterprise customers and our partners, there's no single source of truth, or there's no single solution that applies to every context. Every transformation journey at an enterprise scale will, however, involve sooner or later elements of all these 6 themes. Of course, some companies start with the cloud transformation, others build leadership development programs, yet others focus on the right metrics on the software teams and try to facilitate those software teams to grow. All these themes are important, but together they are much more powerful. And this is what DASA, with its comprehensive portfolio, is trying to provide. The heavy lifting, however, is done by the enterprise and our partners because they have to determine in their context what is the best combination of all these ingredients. On the next slide, we see the portfolio, how it is shaping up at the moment. And of course, we'll then make the link to the specific topic of today, DevAIOps. On the left side, you see some key principles we adhere to when building our product suites. It's very important to recognize, like I did with future processing, that we always work with thought leaders and subject matter experts. This is no exception. We also want to cover the different phases in a transformation to cater for organizations who just about to embark on these kind of initiatives, but also for the organizations who are well underway and got stuck or want to add a next level of maturity. We design our product suites in a MECE manner. That means that the products in the product suite are mutually exclusive, but also collectively exhaustive, meaning that each individual product can definitely add quite some value already in an organization or for an individual, but together we provide a basically we cover most, if not all, important use cases around a specific theme or capability. And that's how we go about. And we often build a combination between talent and guidance products. And today, as part of the modernizing IT operations and infrastructure theme, we'll focus on the DevAIOps product suite, which contains both key products types, as we will see on the next few slides. If we go to the next one, let me explain why I'm so excited about this particular webinar and introduction of the DevAIOps product suite, because it's no surprise for none of you, I think, that AI is everywhere. Not just as a consumer and an individual in your family or with friends, we're tinkering with all kinds of tools. Also on the enterprise level, organizations are anxiously looking for ways how to get value out of this. The AI adoption is skyrocketing, and these are just some facts and figures. And it is logical to also explore how DevOps or high performance digital organizations can benefit from embedding, ingraining AI in their modus operandi. And we'll explore this on the next slides. If we go next, we see that typically machine learning, AI principles and practices can be nicely integrated throughout the software development lifecycle, which DevOps and agile principles and practices focus a lot on. So in all these phases, you can explore what would be logical tools, logical accelerators to apply AI to. And this is very important because, as we will see soon, great benefits can be achieved by doing this. This is the core topic of the DevAIOps product suite, to help organizations who already invested in agile and DevOps principles and practices. How can they gain further value by also adhering to a right strategy for AI? On the next slide, we see that this is not something we just decided. It's also recognized by all kinds of analysts, firms, strategic consulting companies, and market bureaus. These are staggering figures, as you can read. It's quite impressive to see that in the coming years, the growth that is expected is in the billions. Also, a lot of the DevOps pipelines, if you look from an automation perspective, will include one way or the other AI-driven processes. And last but not least, it's expected that a lot of important metrics that many organizations use, for example, the DORA metrics on the team level around deployment frequency, lead times, mean time to repair, are positively impacted, and not insignificantly, I would say, by adopting DevAIOps. So if you were not already convinced of the promise of this theme, then hopefully you are a bit more now. If not, then on the next slide, we have a few more convincing arguments, because, of course, this is not so new that no company has gone in that route already. Some well-established, well-known brands in the market have experimented already with DevAIOps and implemented some nice, valuable achievements. You can read here some great facts and figures. And again, like I said, it's about improving uptime, it's about improving deployment frequency, decrease of failures, and not in just 1, 2, or 5%, it's in the double-digit numbers. And this is something like in the early days of DevOps that, of course, many enterprises will also want to strive for. How can we mimic that kind of company? How can we build the same kind of culture? How can we benefit in the same way from how they did? And we summarize on the next slide key advantages, key achievements that you can reach when you implement DevAIOps. And it's important to recognize that some of them are really from a technology and automation point of view, and they're worth mentioning. For example, on the bottom left, the next-gen automation. If you smartly apply AI, you can foresee issues better, you can automate workflows, you can optimize performance, etc. But it's also about the code quality. You can leverage AI to improve a lot there, and the resilience in your software IT landscape and your infrastructure landscape is in a similar way impacted positively if you adopt AI. But there are also other elements. As you know from DASA, we are not only focusing on automation. We have our 6 principles. We focus a lot on culture, about collaboration, about the people and process dimension as well. And if you look then at, for example, customer value, one of the core values we all do this for in the first place, you see also that you can reach exceptional customer experience if you, in a smart way, personalize your services using AI. But you can also improve the collaboration between teams or the efficiency in the teams, while to reach a point where you can have much more time available for the cool stuff, the innovation stuff, the new features, the new challenges that you want to solve before even your customers ask for it. And this is all just a subset of potential positive impact that you can reach. Well, I guess you are now by now understanding that this is a very promising road to go. At the same time, I have to be honest, AI is of course a hype. DevAIOps can also turn into a hype. So what we always do when we design a product suite is also carefully look at not just what others have been doing so far in this field, and there have been some attempts of a good product suite in this direction, but we felt there's a huge need for a comprehensive take on this subject. We also identified, based on research and extensive surveys, what are key problems and challenges that organizations face or will face when they implement DevAIOps capabilities. And this is a subset of typical problems and challenges that we solve. It depends a bit in which phase you are. If you start from the bottom to the top, some companies are simply experimenting and starting to adopt AI. Others are seeking more, let's say, scaling it in the enterprise and focusing on time to market and time to value. In each of these specific phases, you can have issues around, for example, inconsistent implementation approaches, all kinds of tools being tried out, all kinds of technology overload happening in the organization, how to streamline this, how to make sure that that it's also not too costly, because it's not a free lunch after all. But also governance and compliance issues are important. How to make sure that you deal with this head on instead of as an afterthought. Skills shortage is of course something that we face and many organizations complain about. I think the talent program we will launch, or at least introduce today, will help with that, because we provide a program that can build a lot of knowledge and skills in your own workforce and organization. But the skills shortage is really a thing, especially if you want to scale things. Security is an angle to take into account as well, quality assurance. But in the end, it's also about a cultural shift, how to use co-pilots, how to use AI mechanisms in a smart way, but still stay at the helm, stay in control, and know what you're doing. On the next slide, we summarize this into a number of top challenges that we have identified and have formed the basis, the foundation for the design of our product suite. We see here on the bottom what I mentioned, the inconsistent implementation approaches and the technology overload, and also in terms of processes that really need to be tackled. At the same time, it's about engagement of all kinds of stakeholders, technical stakeholders like developers and ops people, but also leadership plays a role here. It's the skill gap issue, how to go about this in an organization, how to invest in this in a smart way, but also how to measure success, how to make sure that you don't just go in every direction, but how you make sure that you have the right data to monitor and to grow. And last but not least, the compliance, because this will be a big topic and enterprises would like to understand what can they better already do right now before they run into trouble later on. And based on that, we started tinkering, and today we have the public commit, and we're excited to share what we have come up with. So next slide, please, because here we go into the more details of the product suite. And before I give the floor to the two product authors who are with us in this call today and are on the next slide, Daniel Kuspa and Daniel Jaros, let me show you on a high level how the product suite looks like. That's on the next slide. What we often do when we develop a product suite is looking for a combination of talent development aspects and transformation enablers, because it's not enough to inspire people, to certify or train people about key concepts. We want to enable them as change agents, as professionals who can actually make the needle move in their organizational context. And that's why we have a combination. For the talent development angle, we have come up with a 2-day certification program, which is not just full of technology alone or hypes. It's about addressing all these key challenges that I just summed up. So as you can see here on a high level, of course, key principles and practices are being covered, how you adopt AI throughout a DevOps lifecycle and in your organization. The governance aspect and compliance is important. And of course, how to combine this with a continuous improvement mindset, one of the DASA key principles, and how to achieve operational efficiency. Those key angles are all covered. In the value box, and many of you are familiar with DASA value box perhaps, in the value box we have all kinds of useful guidance products that together help organizations build the right capabilities. So we have a framework that can guide you with that. We have also an assessment to test what is your current readiness from all kinds of aspects. We have mechanisms to measure basically and calculate the costs that are involved when going into AI, workshops that you can leverage, and all kinds of playbooks and templates that we believe can be beneficial in your tailor-made journey. Well, there's much more detail to share about this. Last slide from my side is the beneficiaries. So who did we build this for? From a development perspective, I think it's a mistake to think that this is only something for a few tech-minded folks in your company. A lot of the roles you see here listed can benefit greatly from this program if they understand the benefits, especially people in a product role who are in the end determining what is the business case, what is the value, what is the priority that we give to new features, etc. Of course, you need also the technical guys and girls on your journey, automation engineers, cloud engineers, data engineers, scientists, etc. And depending on how you have your setup in your organization, project and program managers should not be missed in this list. When it comes to transformation enablers and really building the capabilities in your organization to grow further and to be as independent as possible in becoming a leading player in the DevAIOps front, of course, anyone with a transformational leader role or attitude should become in scope then. But also product leaders, coaches of any kind that can help teams and organizations in that effort, in their digital transformations, are typical the audience for applying our value box contents in their organizations. With that preamble, I'd like to give the floor to Daniel Kuspa, who will share more details on the certification program. Daniel, over to you.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Rick. Thank you very much, Pragya. Thank you very much, Dominic, and very excited to be here indeed. Touching on the certification program and focusing on the certification program, Rick already mentioned those challenges that we are seeing with our customers right here, right now, striving to adopt these new shiny AI technology things into their living, working, breathing ecosystem. So technology overload, inconsistent implementation, stakeholder management, skill gap, the data inconsistency, regulatory compliance, you name it. There is a lot of stuff to cover if you want to be successful with this digital transformation journey, striving to be the high performing or the highest performing digital organization out there in your market, in your vertical, in your geography. So the goal that was in front of us when we were building this certification program was to equip those stakeholders that Rick just mentioned, not only the IT guys, but the leaders as well, to adapt and adopt the DevAIOps principles and achieving the faster time to market and time to value. That being said, one of the purposes of this certification is to use a common language and not to be in these discussions when we don't know what we are speaking about. Quite the opposite. On the level that we need to be successful, we need to understand each other, and the goal of this is to create this alignment between the multiple stakeholders. So after completing this training program, this certification program, you would be able to explain the principles and the significance of these principles, DevAIOps principles, in accelerating time to market, time to value, ensuring the consistency, ensuring the visibility, ensuring the feedback flowing in all directions. We will focus on developing the strategies, and as Rick mentioned, there is no holy grail in here, one fits all. There are multiple approaches that we are seeing that are more and less successful, depending from the unique ecosystem, enterprise ecosystem of our enterprise customers. And what we see that there is one important piece of a puzzle missing that is prerequisite for this to be successful. So the robust governance framework, when information security is not afterthought, when data management is not afterthought, when ethical approach to adopting those AI products into the living, breathing services and products, we need the framework in order to ensure the compliance end-to-end from the beginning till the successful implementation. As already mentioned, the data plays a critical role in here, and leveraging the potential of the data. Even today, we were speaking about the project with the customer who is aiming to go up with the intelligent automation practice and going through the historical data that is not in any database but in the PDFs, and we need to extract those, and we need to make sure that it is included in the product that we are building for this customer. Identify robust security measures and ethical approach. Again, not afterthought, something that is crucial for the very beginning. Crucial and owned from the very beginning. This is important part as well. We would be able to identify the practices that enhance the ops, any ops that could leverage the potential of the AI products in the flow. And in the end, the goal in here is to foster the culture of the continuous improvement and innovation. So how to answer the question, if we are successful with the strategy that we implemented, how to make sure that we are keeping the momentum going. If we can go to the next slide, please. So this is the certification program is structured into the 8 modules. So starting with the introduction into the DevAIOps world. Second one would be the possible strategies that you can use and tweak and adopt to your situation to make sure that this initiative will be successful. As already mentioned, governance framework is in there in the module 3. Module 4 focuses on the data-driven decision-making and how to leverage this potential and make this data usable to make a wiser, better, faster decisions. Module 5 is all around the ethical approach and the security ingrained from the very beginning in the products that we are building. Module 6 is focused on the operations and having those low-hanging fruits consumed, if possible. Module 7 is continuous improvement and innovation. So once again, how to keep the momentum going. And in the end, how to apply all of those learnings from the previous modules, how to build the working product from the scratch, and how to include those practices into your delivery practices. On the next slide, we see the ways that we can actually consume this training. So it is quite standard classroom, either on site or the virtual one, remote one, or the self-paced. Pragya will be saying a few words about the DASA Hub in the few minutes. Regarding the duration, we were having actually quite a heated discussion because there is a lot of topics to cover and not enough time, as always. However, taking under consideration that we have a lot of different stakeholders with the different backgrounds in the enterprise environment, some of them very, very busy, we decided that we will start with the 2 days. Regarding the certification exam, 40 minutes, 20 questions, passing score 65% for the learners, 75% for the trainers, and eating our own dog food. This will be AI proctored exam. Next slide, please. So wrapping it up together, after completion of this program, this certification program, you will be able to understand the principles of the DevAIOps and their significance, be able to create a working successful strategies for your transformation journeys, enhance operational efficiency through using DevAIOps practices, ensure robust security and the ethical AI implementation, and the end goal in here, so the name of the game, in effect, foster the continuous improvement and innovation culture, applying DevAIOps practices for efficient and innovative product delivery. So that being said, thank you very much. Very excited to be building that. If you have any questions, comments, just use LinkedIn comments to ask those questions. And without further ado, Daniel Jaros, please, DJ, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here, and I'll try to tell you more about the value box that we designed along with a certification program. The goal of the value box, the main goal is to empower organization to adopt and optimize DevAIOps practices. In the result, you should have more efficient, more accelerated time to market and time to value for your products. That's the main goal of the value box and the products that I will explain on the next slide. Here you can see the basic list of our products, which are AI readiness assessment tool, a governance and compliance framework, improvement cost and impact calculator, integrating AI in DevOps workshop, and playbook on resolving integration complexity. On previous slides, Rick has shown you that before, but now I'd like to go more detailed in each of that product, and first will be AI readiness assessment. So before we even start thinking about enhancing workflows with AI, we should ask if company is ready for it. Currently, companies try to implement AI in some areas of their work. Some improvements probably were done successfully and some less impactful. But in a complex organization, I think it's all normal that people are trying to test new things. And in a result, when you have a lot of product teams, it's not so good synchronized. That's why the very first question is, where am I now as an organization? So AI readiness assessment help you to evaluate how currently the company is prepared to efficiently using AI in a consistent and compliant way. So thanks to that, the benefits that you can achieve are like the benefits of that assessment provides you actionable insights to identify skill gaps, optimize the processes, and align all of the initiatives which are using AI or ML in everyday development processes. So in general, it's about to ensure a strategic and informated approach to successful implementation at the end. So it's about this assessment. The next product, guidance product in our value box set is governance and compliance framework. So let's imagine that we have a broad infrastructure and a few of the development teams working on their products or internal system. So my challenge is to keep consistent governance and compliance using AI in whole company. So this framework defines an approach how to do that, how to set standards, how to assign responsibilities to avoid risks. Risks like using unauthorized data, for example. So thanks to that, you can ensure about ethical and compliant AI operations while promoting consistency and transparency across whole of the organization. The third product that I'd like to explain is integrating AI in DevOps practice workshop. So this workshop is focused on mapping a current way of working. So how company currently works with the products, what operations are using every day, to highlight events where introducing some AI, ML mechanisms will generate the maximum value for your organization. So this step is dedicated to build a common understanding of as is stage, let's say, and plan the to be. So the way of working enhanced by AI and adjusted to the company and its domain. Benefits like mapped workflows basically. So this is the main benefit, that you can depict somehow how you work currently, uh, highlight the events, and these results may be used to set priorities and plan a strategy for making changes in these workflows. So talking about the strategy, I will go to the fourth product, which is resolving integration complexity playbook. So the next slide, please. And here, when you try to implement a new solution and tools in the company, it's very important to have the understanding of complexity between processes, systems, and it's like a key to make a changes effectively. If you know the picture, it's easier to plan phases, timeline, make the changes with new tools. And what's more, and I think what's most important here, you can reduce the risk of failure and have the peace of mind that the business continuity will be maintained. Because when you change something in a big organization, and there's always a risk to break some timelines and not yeah. So basically, it's about avoiding the situation when the business continuity is not so good managed. The last one, and probably one of the most important to convince a board of management to do some changes, is improvement cost and impact calculator. So when you know what to do and what you want to optimize, which tools you can use, thanks to that calculator, you can check potential costs and compare some scenarios, for example, of using different tools. So it can be very helpful when you're trying to convince management board to do some improvements in the workflow when you have the costs numbers and etc. So yeah, about this key products, guidance products, it's everything now, and I've hope you like it and you feel that it will be helpful in your everyday work. So I'm passing my voice to the Praga again, and thank you for listening me.
Thank you, Daniel. So all these products that you heard about right now from Daniel Kuzba and Daniel Yeroz, all of these products will be available on our platform, DASA Hub. DASA Hub has a large course library. It facilitates classroom, virtual classroom, and self-paced learning. And on completing the learning, learners will earn a digital badge via the platform. Also, the value box products, all of that can be accessed via DASA Hub. You can also, if you're the facilitator of the value box, you can deliver the workshop using the platform. You can schedule the workshop and also assign handouts and other participant materials via the platform. It gives you the flexibility to edit and contextualize the workshop as per your context so that you can do multiple contextualized deliveries. Similarly, organizational assessments, the one that you just heard about, similar to that, they can be done via DASA Hub. It gives you all the features of running multiple organizational assessments for different or same organization. So you can do it multiple times. Maybe, for example, you just heard it's a readiness assessment. So if you're doing it right now, then you might want to schedule and do it again after you have taken a certain steps to reach a certain point. So within the same organization, or if you're a consultant, you want to do it for your multiple clients. So that is all possible with the platform. DASA Hub also provides transformation objective dashboards that will help in your goal setting and tracking. Very soon, DASA communities will also be hosted on DASA Hub. There are many other exciting features coming up, such as Copilot, Transformation Central Hub features, user management, creating personal content library, etc. Now, next, let's talk about how you can use the products that are hosted on DASA Hub, which is our, of course, the certification programs and the value box products. To deliver the value box as a facilitator, you need to attend the train the facilitator session and earn the facilitator badge. In a minute, we'll talk about the facilitator session of this particular value box, the DevAIOps value box. And to become an accredited trainer, you need to attend the train the trainer session and clear the certification. These sessions are conducted by our master facilitators and trainers. And once you're an accredited trainer, you can deliver these trainings to others, to the learners. And once you become a facilitator of the value box, you can take it to your own organizations or to your client organizations and use these products in your own transformations or in helping your clients with their transformations. The flex sessions of the train the trainer and also train the facilitator sessions are available. By flex, we mean those would be a self-paced one. You don't have to virtually attend it, but you can do it at your own pace and your own time. And there are special pricing for first cohorts of TTTs, the train the trainer sessions and the train the facilitator sessions. Now, talking about pricing, let's move on to the next slide. Let's look at a pricing model for our partners. We have a per user pricing model. We have special volume pricing and separate regional pricing for value boxes. The pricing includes user licenses to deliver the products, the digital badge, and access to the updated materials. We quarterly update the materials. So you will have access to all the updated materials. The value box pricing also gives you access to the value box community, which gives you an access to all the other users of the value box, and you get to learn from their experiences of transformations as well. So that's a very powerful thing in itself. That along with these guidance products that you're going to use for your transformations, you're also learning from other people who are almost on the same journey, helping others or helping their own organizations with these transformations on DevAIOps. And for the certification program, the license pricing is for the bundle. By the bundle, I mean the courseware, the assessments, and the additional content on DASA Hub. We have regional pricing for our training partners, and as I said earlier, you need to be accredited to deliver these courses. Okay, now it's time for the next steps, what we are doing for on this particular product suite. We will be conducting the train the facilitator session for this value box on 23rd of October, and I'm hoping most of you all will register for it. So stay tuned for the registration announcement to begin. You can also send your inquiries for registration on the email ID shown on the screen, which is info@dasa.org. Um, and the value box will be launched by end of October. And then we will be conducting the train the trainer session for the certification program in December, and it will be launched by early January. So that is all that we had for today's session. It's time for some questions now. Okay, I see one of the questions, which is, may I know when will it be available in Malaysia? Uh, as I said, we just talked about the dates right now. Um, so the value box will be available by end of October, and the certification program will be available by end of December, early January. Yes, and then there's another question which says, what are Dev AI Ops practices? Do you have a white paper or similar for this? If I want our training partners to start offering the class, I need much more information about what the class actually is about. Sure, Peter, we will be sharing these enablement collaterals with you very soon, with everyone, so that you can be prepared. So these details will be shared with all our training partners and all our enterprise partners and transformation partners.
Pragya, can I comment on this one?
Yes,
Because
sure.
Peter's, thank you very much, Peter, for the question. Your question is very much specific. Regarding those practices and those principles that we are building right now with this product, look at this like the DASA DevOps principles. Which are, for example, customer-centric action or create with the end in mind. However, those principles that we are working on are more focused on the AI rather than the DevOps. However, as Rick was mentioning in the beginning, all of those products are mutually exclusive, but collectively, building the whole thing just for you to be able to pick up the things that makes more sense for you in the organization. So as Pragya said, just a little bit more patience and we will be sure to share that with you in advance. And I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. And Daniel, if you would like to take the next question as well, which is, what AI experience or skills do you need to have as a teacher for the class?
Sorry guys, mute button. I would say that you have to have exposure to building such a product. So it is important for you to understand. Of course, this certification will help, but there is no other better way than to practice what you are preaching. So I would say you have to be into the AI as a whole concept and idea. You should be already experimenting if possible, and you should be already delivering some AI-based products and services, if that makes sense for you, Peter. And I hope I answered your question.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, Daniel, I think it's a good question. It triggers me. Of course, we also see for other DASA products some of the instructors who are very experienced in facilitating a classroom session with professionals, and that's a skill in itself. But especially for most of our products, and especially this one, I fully agree, it helps to have affinity with the subject matter. And being just an awesome trainer who, let's say, reads from the slides, nothing personal, will not be that convincing for the learners in the classroom. So most individuals have, of course, their own experience already by playing with ChatGPT and those kind of tools, but it would definitely help if you would experiment and make some mileage for yourself with some of the software product context with AI. That would be the ideal situation. If that is not the case, doesn't mean that it will be an awesome delivery or it is a prerequisite. Of course, we have a lot of instructor guidance that comes with each product. So each instructor will also provide gets provided a lot of insights in what can you do to engage with the classroom. What kind of case studies could you leverage? What kind of other examples could you do? Or what kind of activities can you use and leverage to make it more interactive and also use the experience of some of the learners in your classroom. So I learned firsthand early in my career, you don't need to be the super expert who knows best. It does help to have made your hands dirty, but also try to use instructor guidance and facilitative skills to fully leverage what kind of knowledge you have in the classroom. I would add to Daniel's answer. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for adding that, Rick. Um, there's one more question, Daniel, if you can take this. How does AI enhance the pipeline and promote cross functional collaborations? and what benefits does this present for business?
I am trying to see this question. Can you please repeat, Pragya? I don't
Yeah.
see it in the chat. Who was asking this question? Maybe I will find it like
Uh,
that.
I'll, I'll just repeat it.
Okay, thank
How
you.
does AI enhance the pipeline and promote cross-functional collaboration?
Okay.
And what benefits does this present for business?
Okay, one thing that we are doing for some time with our customers is this prime example of the copilots. Regarding the code review, even building some code blocks independently based on the, not entirely independently, but based on the input from the developer. So this is obviously something that is enhancing the speed of the development. Additional things that may improve the CI/CD pipelines is to integrate the different knowledge sources, like from the perspective of the observability, from the perspective of the measuring the end result of that and feeding it back into the pipelines on the left side. So going through the cycle one more time. I hope I answered the question. However, I still don't see it. So sorry if it was a little bit vague.
There was another, Rick, I would want you to take this question. This is, are there any cost considerations for underrepresented communities, as most times we are unable to afford these workshop certifications due to economic depressions?
Yes, we have at least regional pricing for all our products. So that is the best answer I can give there. And we of course we continuously look at what is a proper balance between the quality of our products and the impact they make, and the investment capacity that there is in organizations and learners. And so far, we did quite well in finding a good price point in the various regions. It is true that there's a lot of free stuff out as well. So we found for many of our products that although there's a lot of curated content and you can go to YouTube or all kinds of online learning platforms, having some better guided learning journey does help and does make things stick better. And yes, that there's a cost involved in building those products, so we will not give them free of charge. But yes, it's a good point, and we'll continuously look also with our business development teams how can we make it as attractive as possible. If you have a specific question for your company being a partner already, or you would like to sign up being an enterprise member or a training partner, please contact me or Pragya, and we can always try to find a tailor-made solution for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I was to say that as well, that please write to us at info@dasa.org, and then we will definitely get in touch with you and look for tailor-made solutions. Um, Dominic, there's one, sorry, Daniel, there would be one more question, if you can answer that. So the question is, how can we approach internal and external stakeholders who may be hesitant to adopt AI due to various factors, maybe security issues, cost effectiveness, concern over job loss in the organizations, etc.?
Great question. Thank you very much for this one. I would answer how to, in the first place, approach them. In the first place, you need to know them. You need to understand who is who in the organization, what benefits there are to be brought by the AI adoption, you need to name those stakeholders. You need to have a plan to approach those stakeholders. This is exactly what we are covering in this module regarding the strategies, how to convince, how to build the business case, how to build this sense of urgency that Rick was mentioning, how to build this guiding coalition towards the successful execution. So the best is to approach them with the business case and the strategy and the plan already in mind, being the enabler rather than the reactive part in this approach, because it will simply not work if you will be too reactive in making sure that the urgency is in there and the benefits are there for the business stakeholders to consume, and the customers, obviously.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Looking at the time, I think we are almost there. So I would like to thank everyone, our speakers for today, and to everyone who have attended this webinar. I'm hoping to hear from most of you, and you all will register to become our facilitators and trainers on this very exciting topic. Thank you so much, and good evening to everyone.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice one. Cheers. Bye bye.